Welcome, fellow brain enthusiasts. Think of your memory not as some dusty attic, but as this boundless universe waiting to be explored. We're about to launch into a deep dive into advanced memory techniques, blending the best of neuroscience, psychology, and good old human behavior. Get ready to unlock the secrets to supercharging your memory, learning faster, and recalling information with pinpoint accuracy. We're talking about cutting-edge strategies that leverage the very way our brains are wired. So buckle up, get ready to expand your cognitive horizons, and let's embark on this exciting journey to unlock your brain's full potential. All right, imagine yourself strolling through your childhood home. You remember the creaky floorboard in the hallway, the smell of cookies baking in the kitchen. That, my friends, is the power of spatial memory. The method of Loci, an ancient technique, uses this very principle. You create a memory palace, a familiar place in your mind, and associate information with specific locations within it. But here's where we kick things up a notch. We're not just placing information, we're anchoring it with emotions. Remember that creaky floorboard? Now imagine it groaning under the weight of a terrifying monster, that vivid emotional image. Yeah, your brain won't forget that easily. Emotions act like a neural highlighter, making memories more vivid and easier to recall. So as you populate your memory palace, don't just visualize, feel. Associate each piece of information with a powerful emotion, be it joy, fear, excitement. Think of it this way, our brains are wired to remember things that are important for survival. And what's more important than matters of the heart, right? By tapping into the power of emotions, you're essentially telling your brain, hey, this is important, don't you dare forget it. So go ahead, build your emotionally charged memory palace and watch your recall abilities skyrocket. Now let's talk about time, or rather, our perception of it. See, our brains aren't the best timekeepers. We've all experienced how time seems to fly by when we're engaged and crawl when we're bored. We can exploit this for memory enhancement with a technique I call temporal distortion. The key is to manipulate your learning environment during spaced practice. Let's say you're studying for a big exam. Instead of cramming in the same spot, switch it up. The first session could be in a bustling cafe, the next in a quiet library, then maybe outdoors. By changing your surroundings, you're tricking your brain into thinking each study session happened at a different time. This creates temporal landmarks, making the information feel less repetitive and more novel. It's like time traveling through your own personal study montage. Each location becomes a distinct point in your memory timeline, making it easier to recall specific information. Remember, the more diverse your study environments, the more distinct those temporal tags become. So embrace the unexpected. Become a student of your surroundings and watch as your brain effortlessly encodes information. Get ready for a journey into the fascinating world of brainwaves. You see, our brains are buzzing with electrical activity, oscillating at different frequencies. Two key players in the memory game are theta and gamma waves. Theta waves are prominent during deep relaxation and sleep, those moments when your brain consolidates memories. Gamma waves, on the other hand, are associated with focused attention, high-level processing, and yes, you guessed it, memory formation. Now, imagine if we could get these two to work in harmony, like a perfectly tuned orchestra. Well, that's where binaural beats come in. These are auditory illusions created by playing slightly different frequencies in each ear. When you listen to binaural beats tuned to the theta-gamma range, something amazing happens. Your brain waves start to synchronize with these frequencies, enhancing communication between different brain regions involved in memory. Think of it as providing your brain with a rhythmic boost, amplifying its natural learning abilities. And the best part, you can easily find binaural beat soundtracks online or through dedicated apps. So next time you sit down to study, try incorporating theta-gamma binaural beats into your routine. You might just be surprised by the boost in focus, retention, and overall cognitive performance. Chapter 4. Neurogenesis, grow your brain, grow your memory. For centuries we believed that the brain we're born with is all we get, but guess what? That's just not true. Our brains are constantly changing, rewiring, and yes, even growing new brain cells, a process called neurogenesis. And where does this magical growth spurt happen? in a key area for memory called the hippocampus. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Exercise isn't just good for your body, it's a turbocharger for your brain. Studies have shown that aerobic exercise, even a brisk walk, can stimulate neurogenesis, leading to a larger hippocampus and improved memory function. But timing is key. The optimal window for this brain-boosting effect is right after a learning session. Think of it this way. You've just bombarded your brain with new information. Now it's time to give it the resources it needs to solidify those memories. So, lace up those sneakers and go for a 10 to 15 minute walk or run. You're not just improving your physical health, you're literally growing your brain power. Chapter 5, Engage your senses, ignite your memory. Let's face it, most of us learn in a pretty one-dimensional way, staring at books, listening to lectures. But our brains are wired for multisensory experiences. We're talking sight, sound, touch, smell, even taste. And guess what? The more senses we engage during learning, the stronger the memory encoding. This is called multisensory integration. So how do we put this into practice? Get creative. Let's say you're learning about different types of flowers. Don't just memorize names from a textbook. Go to a garden, smell the roses, touch the velvety petals of a tulip, maybe even taste a sprig of lavender, carefully of course. By involving multiple senses, you're creating a richer, more memorable experience. Your brain is forming connections not just in the language center, but also in areas associated with smell, touch, and even taste. Remember, the key is to make learning an immersive experience. Use flashcards with different textures, listen to recordings while you walk, even chew gum with a distinct flavor while studying. Your brain will thank you for it. Chapter 6. The Art of Active Forgetting for Memory Enhancement. Now, this might sound counterintuitive, but sometimes forgetting can actually strengthen your memory. I'm not talking about passively letting information fade away. This is about active forgetting, a deliberate process of revisiting and challenging your memories. Here's how it works. After learning something new, try to recall the key points. Once you've retrieved the information, expose yourself to slightly conflicting information on the same topic. This deliberate introduction of desirable difficulties forces your brain to reconcile the discrepancies, leading to deeper processing and stronger memory consolidation. It's like a mental workout for your neurons. Think of it like this. Imagine you're building a house. If you just stack bricks on top of each other without any mortar, the structure will be weak and easily toppled. But if you use mortar to bind the bricks together, the house becomes much more robust and resilient. That's what active forgetting does for your memories. It strengthens the connections, making them less prone to decay. So, embrace the challenge. Don't be afraid to revisit and even question what you've learned. Your brain will rise to the occasion, creating more durable and long-lasting memories. Time. It's our constant companion, yet our memories of it can be surprisingly fluid. But what if we could harness the power of time to enhance our memory recall? That's where temporal tagging comes in. This technique involves associating each piece of information you learn with a specific time of day or a personal event. It's like creating mental timestamps for your memories. For example, let's say you're studying a history timeline. Instead of just memorizing dates in isolation, link them to your daily routine. The Roman Empire, that's your morning coffee time. The Renaissance, that's your lunch break. By anchoring information to your personal timeline, you're creating retrieval cues that are both meaningful and readily accessible. It's like having a mental calendar that prompts your memory with each passing hour. And here's a bonus tip. Engage your other senses to make those temporal tags even stickier. Associate specific smells, sounds, or even tastes with different time periods. For instance, the scent of cinnamon could trigger memories of ancient spice roots, while the sound of jazz music could evoke the roaring 20s. The more vivid and multisensory your temporal tags, the more effectively they'll anchor your memories. Have you ever tasted a color or heard a shape? That's synesthesia, a fascinating neurological phenomenon where stimulation of one sense triggers experiences in another. While only a small percentage of the population experiences synesthesia naturally, we can all learn to harness its power for memory enhancement. The key is to create artificial synesthetic pairings. Let's say you're trying to memorize mathematical formulas. Assign a specific color to each element in the equation. For instance, addition could be blue, subtraction red, multiplication green. By consistently visualizing these color associations, you're creating cross-modal connections in your brain, making the information more vivid and memorable. It's like transforming abstract concepts into a vibrant tapestry of sensory experiences. And here's the beauty of it: you can create synesthetic pairings for any type of information. Associate historical figures with specific musical pieces, geographical locations with distinct scents, or even scientific concepts with unique textures. The more creative and personalized your synesthetic pairings, the more effectively they'll enhance your memory encoding and retrieval. So unleash your inner artist, paint your memories with sensory fusion, and watch your cognitive abilities soar. We all know that sleep is crucial for memory consolidation. But what if I told you that fragmenting your sleep could actually enhance this process? Now, before you reach for that extra cup of coffee, let me explain. We're talking about a technique called sleep interruption for memory reactivation, and it involves strategically timing short periods of wakefulness within your sleep cycle. Here's the gist. During sleep, our brains work tirelessly to process and consolidate memories. But here's the catch: not all sleep stages are created equal. REM sleep, characterized by vivid dreams, plays a particularly important role in memory consolidation. By incorporating short periods of wakefulness, around 10 to 15 minutes, after every 3 to 4 hours of sleep, you're essentially promoting REM rebound. This means that when you fall back asleep, you're more likely to enter REM sleep faster and experience longer periods of it. Think of it like giving your brain a series of memory-boosting power naps. During these brief wakeful periods, you can further enhance consolidation by engaging in activities that reinforce the information you're trying to learn. Now, I know this might sound a bit unconventional, but the science behind it is solid. So, if you're up for experimenting with your sleep schedule, this could be a game changer for your memory performance. So, there you have it. 9 advanced memory techniques that can transform the way you learn and retain information. By integrating these strategies into your routine, you're not just memorizing facts, you're working with your brain's natural abilities. Remember, your memory is not a finite resource. It's a muscle that can be trained and strengthened with the right techniques. So, embrace the power of neuroscience, experiment with these methods, and discover the incredible potential of your own mind. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the fascinating world of memory. Don't forget to subscribe for more insights into the brain, learning, and unlocking your cognitive potential. Until next time, keep those synapses firing.